Good day, everyone. This is a place where government representatives discuss relevant and timely issues. Welcome to PIA iTALK. Ang Pilipinas ang muling magsisilbing chair ng Association of Southeast Asian Nations o ASEAN ngayong 2026. Sa papel na ito, magiging tulay ang bansa sa mas matatag na ugnayan, mas malalim na kooperasyon at mas nagkakaisang rehiyon. Upang mas maunawaan pa ang gampaning ito, sasamahan tayo ni Deputy Assistant Secretary and ASEAN 2026 Spokesperson, Honorable Dominic Xavier M. Imperial.
Hello everyone, I am Dax Imperial, Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Office of ASEAN Affairs of the Department of Foreign Affairs and designated ASEAN 2026 Spokesperson. I'm happy to talk to you about the Philippines ASEAN Chairship in 2026. Let me start with a brief background on ASEAN. Nearly 60 years ago, the foreign ministers of 5 Southeast Asian nations gathered in Bangkok to sign the ASEAN Declaration. In a region marked by Cold War tensions and recent conflicts, they came together without a formal charter or binding treaties. But they had a clear vision that peace was better than conflict and that cooperation would yield far greater progress, stability, and prosperity than any nation could achieve in isolation. This gave birth to what we now call the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. From the original 5, ASEAN was joined by Brunei Darussalam, Vietnam, Lao PDR, Myanmar, Cambodia, and last year, Timor-Leste to complete the ASEAN family. This year, the torch of ASEAN leadership has passed to the Philippines. As one of ASEAN's most recognized traditions, the rotating chairship enables each member state to set the agenda and host key summits. This year, under the theme Navigating Our Future Together, the Philippines as chair will guide ASEAN through complex global shifts while advancing peace, prosperity, and people-centered progress. Our chairship logo is rich with meaningful symbolisms. At its heart lies the balangay, inspired by the traditional Filipino boat. Many nations moving forward together aboard a single vessel. The weave shows interconnection and reflects the coming together of cultures, values, and aspirations. The rice stalk is a symbol of nourishment and abundance, reflecting ASEAN's commitment to food security. Lastly, the wave signifies maritime security and cooperation and echoes the waters that connect ASEAN member states. Diving deeper into the theme, Navigating Our Future calls for a proactive, forward-looking ASEAN that will help steer and shape the global landscape. We will work collectively with member states and partners to tackle both current and emerging challenges and help chart a shared path forward. Together captures the enduring spirit that unites ASEAN, underscoring ASEAN's centrality, solidarity, and unity as the bedrock of a strong, future-ready community. This spirit of togetherness reaffirms our commitment to deepen cooperation across all 3 pillars: political security, economic, and social-cultural. Let me now walk you through the priorities and deliverables of the Philippines for its ASEAN chairship this year. In keeping with this theme, we are anchoring our work on the 3 pillars of the ASEAN community, translated into 3 main priorities or 3 Ps of our chairship. To effectively translate these main priorities into action, we identified strategic priorities under each of the ASEAN community pillar. For the political security pillar, the 4 priorities are: reinforcing peace and security through norms and dialogue, fostering regional stability and resilience against emerging threats, promoting maritime cooperation, and climate security and disaster preparedness. Through these 4 strategic priorities, our chairship aims to maintain a rules-based, outward-looking region enjoying lasting peace, security, and stability. Our deliverables include the commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia, endeavoring to conclude the Code of Conduct negotiations, and commitment to establish an ASEAN Center for Maritime Studies. Now I move to the ASEAN Economic Community Pillar. Under this pillar, the Philippines identified 19 priority economic deliverables summarized into 5 strategic priorities. First, strengthening trade and investment linkages. Second, accelerating digital transformation. Third, integrating ASEAN's MSME development agenda. Fourth is leveraging creative economy and innovation. And 5, advancing sustainable and inclusive economies. Through these 5 priorities, we aim to achieve economic integration that is innovative, dynamic, inclusive, and sustainable. Our deliverables include the completion of all negotiations of the ASEAN Digital Economy Framework Agreement underscoring digital transformation, commitment to support MSME growth through the responsible use of artificial intelligence, and advancing health security through the use of AI. Finally, for the ASEAN Social Community Pillar, we would like the Philippines Chairship to help build a people-oriented, people-centered ASEAN that is sustainable and resilient. The priorities include resilient and empowered families, inclusive development, smart youth innovation, and environmentally sustainable and food-secure future. Our deliverables include the hosting of the ASEAN Youth Summit on Digital Resilience and Responsible Innovation, launching of the ASEAN Strategic Plan on the Environment, and a high-level meeting on disaster response. Under the 3 Ps, we aim for a rules-based, outward-looking region that enjoys lasting peace and stability, more resilient to emerging threats including climate and disaster risks, and where peace, prosperity, and people are at the heart of everything we do. As chair, the Philippines will host over 650 meetings in support of these 3 Ps. Among the major meetings this year, the Philippines will host 2 summits, one in May in Cebu, which is the 48th ASEAN Summit, and another one in November in Manila, the 49th ASEAN Summit, both of which will be chaired by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and will be attended by ASEAN leaders and its dialogue partners. Another major meeting that we will be hosting is the 59th ASEAN Foreign Ministers Meeting and Post-Ministerial Conferences, or the AMM-PMC, in July. Immediately following the AMM-PMC is the commemorative activity of the 50th anniversary of the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia, or the TAC. The commemorative activity will provide a platform to promote a shared understanding of the TAC and a reaffirmation of its enduring principles, namely mutual respect, non-interference in internal affairs, peaceful settlement of disputes, and the renunciation of the threat or use of force. These are the Philippines' strategic priorities for the 2026 ASEAN Chairship. In navigating our future together, ASEAN and our partners must stand united, clear-sighted, and forward-looking. We take on this ASEAN Chairship with great responsibility, pragmatism, and resolve. With full respect for ASEAN's processes and centrality, we are assured that as one family, we can surmount any challenge and succeed towards our collective goals. Mga kababayan, this is the year that the Philippines chairs the ASEAN, and it is the time for us to join together and give our full support for the country, because the benefits of this chairship will redound not only to our benefit but for the region as well. Thank you.
Ngayong ASEAN 2026, hangarin ng Pilipinas na patuloy na isulong ang isang nagkakaisa at matatag na rehiyon na handa sa hamon ng kasalukuyan at nakatuon sa inklusibo at mas matibay na kinabukasan para sa lahat.